following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Nick Eatman, David Hellman, Ambar Garcia, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021, Season 17, Episode number 7. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. It's Day 13 of Training Camp 2021, presented by American Airlines. We're out here in Oxnard, California. Man, we are rounding the corner and getting close to the end of camp. Cowboys will actually be taking the field this week for a game. Just so everyone knows what the schedule looks like. We have our show today, and then tomorrow there will not be shows. It will be a travel day for the Cowboys. They'll be heading out to Cleveland and then to Canton for the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. On Friday, there will be a joint podcast where we'll have our writers on. Dave and Nick, I assume, will be a part of that. But they'll talk to you a little bit about what happens in this game on Thursday. Saturday, we've got a live broadcast of Cowboys practice. It'll be a joint practice with the Rams, and we'll have a live broadcast across all of our channels. On Sunday, we'll jump back in. We'll have a podcast on Sunday. We'll have a podcast on Monday, podcast on Tuesday, and podcast on Wednesday. And then we will end training camp, and we will head back to our confines in Frisco, Texas. So
not exactly.
A lot. Well, yeah, no. I mean, like as far as the shows are concerned.
Oh, okay.
The team will travel to Arizona, but we will start back our coverage after that the following week in Frisco, Texas.
Dave, how much did you learn in that thing?
I got lost, to be honest with you. I'm day at a time, man.
Hey,
Jason Garrett taught me that.
I thought, Nick, you were going to send out that email to the team to let them know what the schedule was. Why am I letting everybody in the air know and Dave doesn't even know?
No, Dave doesn't know. I sent it out. I just didn't send it to you.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
That look on Dave's
Yes.
face is like,
That happened.
really? Okay,
What?
yeah. Sure.
That happened. He's
A bunch of sellouts.
Look, everybody
over there.
sold
Just
you out.
roll
All of our
with it.
all of our producers over here saying, I never got the
Will.
email.
I was like, he didn't send an email. Just play along.
All right, let's jump into this thing, man. It's 8
I
practices
dropped
now.
the ball.
It's okay. We can make sure. I'm sure that now everybody on the team can listen to the break and they can get the schedule for the next week. We have 8 practices done out here. We got 4 more to go before the Cowboys end training camp. Let's start first where we always start. I want some observations from you guys. What did you see in the last practice? Each of you give me an observation. Let's start with you, Dave.
God, after that was a long off day. I feel like
It's a nice off day.
I got to remind myself what happened on Sunday. Was it Sunday?
Yeah.
Yes, that would have been Sunday.
Okay. I mean, do we have to spend a lot of time on CeeDee Lamb? Good God.
Yeah, you can just say CD had a great catch. And you're
You
like,
can do that every day?
Yeah, he could.
I think it was within the last week that I was like, yeah, he's a great player and he's fun, but like is he 88? Is he doing Dez stuff out here Yeah, he is. I wasn't sure that was the thing a week ago maybe, but he does it every damn day, man. He does something fun every time we go out there. So I'm sure if you're listening to this, you've probably seen the catch that he had the other day. It was super fun. What else jumps out? Osiris Mitchell caught like 18 passes the other day. That was like he was just the guy. They must have liked a matchup they saw with him because he was out there doing his thing. I think it was Dorrance Armstrong also had a really nice day the other day.
Which he's had a few nice days.
Yeah, very quietly putting people love to. You're boring by year 4. Is it already it's year 3 or 4 for Dorrance?
I believe this is 4th year for him.
People are bored. People are trying to fire him because he's a 4th year guy and he doesn't have a lot of career sacks, but he's making this team.
Oh yeah, he's definitely making the team, and we've had some people kind of scouts, coaches that tell us he's having a really, really good camp. We ranked him. We did our top 15 players.
You want to
of
run
camp.
through those?
Yeah, you have it.
No, I don't have it.
Well, here's the thing.
Tell you what, just give me the top 5. Give me the top 5.
And top 5 is great. This is what I love about it is, we were talking about it, and we talked about it with a couple of scouts, and they were like, well, you got CD, you got Gregory, Diggs, Schultz, and I'm like, that's good. That's our top 4. So we're not
too stupid.
Yeah, we got something figured out.
Yeah.
They threw Dorrance Armstrong in that group of top 5. We had him 10, I believe, on our list. Other players that we had in there for us, if I had to remember, were like Kazee. He was in there. Who else? I'm just
Leighton Vander Esch, Micah Parsons.
Parsons is, I think, was maybe
Parsons
number
having
5.
a great camp.
He's having a great camp, and we also look at it with expectations too.
Yep.
I mean, Malik Turner might be 7 or 8. We wouldn't have put him in our top 80 of players we thought would make the team.
Definitely not.
Right.
I mean, he'd be in the bottom 10, no chance. But they signed him for a reason, But he's played well. He's taken advantage of the fact that Cooper's out and also Gallup's been out. He's got some good reps there. He's had a really, really good camp. That's one that was kind of a surprising one. Neville Gallimore was in there. Osa Odigizua was in there. In that 8-9 range, they've done some. They showed some good things. We had Tyron like 11. Tyron hasn't practiced much, but when he's practiced, he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Put him on the list.
Yeah, he's on the list. He's out here. We're surprised by that, and he's out here. Any other receivers come to mind? I don't really think so. And receivers' corners are the ones that we always
It's a lot
see
easier.
them.
Yeah.
McEwen got in there at 14.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's had a pretty nice training camp. He's surprising too. You just don't expect him to get in that mix.
I think, and going back to Sunday, I think that was maybe the most entertaining practice of the entire training camp, honestly. And when something's entertaining, that means both sides are making plays. They did a red zone period, offense versus defense. Defense whooped their ass. They won 7-3. Keanu Neal had a nice interception. Trayvon Diggs broke up a couple balls, but it's probably Garrett Gilbert's best day of practice too. I don't remember. Well, he did throw an interception in the 7-on-7, but in team drills he didn't throw any picks. Had Sean McEwen kind of jogged my memory. He had a couple nice catches on Sunday. Everybody just seemed a little bit more comfortable, and it was a very entertaining practice because Saturday and Thursday of last week were kind of rough, but Sunday was good. Sunday was fun.
The only 2 guys I didn't mention on the list, I would say, was Maurice Kennedy. And we had him like at 12, and then also Connor Williams has done a nice job, and they're putting Connor in different spots, trying him at center. He's not all the way there yet as your backup center, but I think he's learning, and it kind of annoys me when I hear people say, he's doing a pretty good job. It's still new to him. He's gonna pick it up. He's gonna get it. So if you would have done this a year and a half ago when we sort of talked about it.
Well, they had bigger problems a year ago, right?
But he could have gotten center snaps.
Could have.
He
Fair.
It's like, and this has been talked about. I mean, I even think Chris Beam came up to me last year and said, Connor Williams could be playing center. I mean, I think it's been discussed.
Yeah.
There's never played him out there. That just kind of frustrates me.
Mike McCarthy said playing the college All-American left tackle at right tackle is fantasy football nonsense. So I'm never going to forget that. I refuse.
You're not.
I won't. I won't do it. It was insulting. Anyway, sorry.
Not to took that really personally.
I did. It's insulting when somebody calls your very not stupid idea stupid and then does it
And
3
then does
weeks
it,
later.
right,
Yeah.
right. As though it was their idea.
Yeah.
All right, I want to get everyone ready for the Hall of Fame game. First of all, let me give me an update on kind of what you think and what you've heard from the standpoint of who you expect will play in this game. You expect to see starters? How many of them? Like, what are you expecting to see this game?
Okay, forget play. Who's gonna go on it? Because I feel like it's different now. Before with COVID protocols, unnecessary risk of like leaving this bubble, going to a new city, traveling, and then it's freaking. I mean, between the bus ride and the flight, it's
a
like
hard travel.
It's a long trip, and some of these guys, does Tyron Smith need to sit on a plane for 4 hours if he's not going to play in this game? Lyle Collins, Zach Martin, guys that
plane.
Well, that's true. They are thlying in the nice plane, aren't they?
Oh, they're all nice.
They're all nice. They're all nice
They're all
planes.
nice at American
But they're
Airlines.
flying in a very comfortable plane.
Yes.
I still don't know if it's worth it though. Like I bet a decent number of these guys stay behind, and then you still have 6 or 7 guys on PUP like Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence. They don't need to be there. I don't know the answers to this, but I bet a lot of these guys are going to stay behind in Oxnard. Or maybe not a lot, but at least a handful. Yeah.
And that's another dynamic as well, because not saying what these guys are going to do, but would you rather them be in Cleveland and with a curfew, or here on Wednesday night.
True.
No practice again until
Oh,
Saturday.
Hey,
Close to LA.
let's be clear. They won't be here.
Right.
They will not be here. They'll
Right.
be
So-
down in Malibu or something.
So there's a lot of things to consider, and also, just with that scrimmage there against the Rams, I mean, or whatever you're gonna call it, practice, not scrimmage, but practice. But you could kind of see or hear the frustration a little bit out of McCarthy the other day when he was just talking about it. Now him and Sean McVay agreed to this. So it's not like he wasn't have a say in this. It's just that now when you can say it way back in the summer and go, okay, we're going to play on Thursday, and then we'll fly cross country, be back Friday, and then we're going to scrimmage or practice on Saturday. Well, that all sounds nice and good. Your injury list is like 2 guys. Now your injury list is, and now you're sitting here and it's here, and your injury list is like 12, 14, 16 guys. Doesn't sound as good. You got to get through the game, and then I talked to John Fossil yesterday because I had talked to Joe DeCamillis as well, and they were actually trying to connect. Joe D was trying to, he did. He talked to Fossil to figure out, what are you guys going to do? How are we going to practice? We got 14 minutes to practice. And Fossil was telling me, that sounds nice. I got to see what my guys look like coming back from the game. Mm-hmm. So you're just weighing a lot of things here, and we're going to find out a lot about this football team in the next 4 or 5 days.
It might be, as you guys were saying, for some of those vets, this might be a nice little break. For those lower guys, it's going to be a tough few days because they're going to play a lot of football in these next few days, and a lot of football, competitive football against other teams when you think about it from the standpoint of a game and then playing against the Rams. So it's going to be a really tough days for those guys that are trying to make the team.
You ever seen that? Have we ever seen 8 days? Have we ever seen 3 different helmets against the Cowboys in 8 days?
Oh, wow.
Where's Mickey? Mickey would let us know.
I don't know.
That sounds like a lot to me.
It does sound like a lot.
You're just like there's going to be a backup guard or somebody's blocking a Steeler, a Ram, and a Cardinal in 8 days.
It's going to be tough. And especially at certain positions. So C.J. Goodwin left practice on Sunday. It didn't even happen during the physical part of practice, so I think it was probably soft tissue. Josh Ball left practice with an ankle issue. So now we already, Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Zach Martin, probably not going to play in this game, or if they do, it would be a very low number of snaps. So if a Josh Ball's gone or a C.J. Goodwin's gone, same thing. How many snaps is Trayvon Diggs going to play? Anthony Brown, probably not a lot. So now, hope you're ready, Maurice Kennedy, Kelvin Joseph.
You're going to get your shot in.
Hope you're ready, Terrence Steele. You're probably going to play a lot of snaps on Thursday night.
Who do you think is the best football player on this team that's going to play Thursday night?
Michael Parsons.
Who do you think's the best player that's actually played in a game before that's going to play? Because you're right. I think it would be Parsons.
Wow, that's
never played. So your most established player. I mean,
you can't sit everyone.
No,
you
can't.
can't sit every starter and still try to get through the game.
In terms of starters, the guy that I think has to play is Tyler Biadasz.
Yeah,
he needs reps. I'm not sure Connor Williams doesn't get a little bit of reps.
Right. I don't think he might have maybe a little, but he's not going to play very long, I wouldn't think.
I would put Connor in at center.
Would you want him to play second team center? Second
quarter.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing that a little bit.
I think other than Micah, my answer to that might be Tony Pollard, honestly. I would assume he'll get
How much are you going to play him?
At least a series or two, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's true, yeah.
He's a good football player. He doesn't need to be that
I want to see a lot of Rico Dowdle. I really want to see a lot of him this game.
I hope it's not Tony Pollard because Shannon and our social team asked me to help with a poll question. Yeah. And I said, who's going to lead the team in rushing Thursday? I didn't even mention him.
No, and he won't.
There's no way he will.
He's
I don't know who won the. I don't know who won the poll. Dowdle.
Here's the thing we got to remember too. Like we're talking about this in relative terms. These starters, they play a full game all season. So for these young guys to go out and play a full game, if Dowdle is the only running back that plays for them the whole game, or if they have him and maybe one other guy.
Can you name the other guys?
I can't. And I'll know their names once they get to a point where they're going to make the team.
He'll come back like this Jaquan Hardy.
Right. Okay, but I know their names, but this is as little as I've ever cared about a running back group. Just in this, because
it's already done.
It seems done to me, unless they love Nick Ralston so much that they just got to have a fullback H-back. I don't see anybody taking Rico Dowdle's job away.
Right. So, I mean, when I look at that, I'm just like, we're talking in relative terms, but these guys can go out and play a full game. These young guys can play a full game. They don't have to have somebody else spelling them.
I'm not as hip with the the language, for these young guys.
Oh, boy.
Spin it, Would that Shaywo?
Spin it?
Shaywo Lanalua said, "I'm ready to spin it." I just take it that means I'm ready to run, ready to roll, ready to whatever.
I've never heard somebody say that, but yeah.
I've heard somebody say that.
He said, "Let me spin."
Okay, well, yeah, you didn't hear what's your boy's name in the movie? You want to win, let Booby spin. Like that's
There we
like.
go.
I thought it was you want to win, put Booby in.
And then he said, "Let Booby spin."
Oh, I didn't hear that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, that was. Come on, man. You should know that.
I just didn't hear that line. I
All right,
thought
here-
it was you want to win, put Booby in.
Shaywo is going to lead the team in rushing, though.
That's who I think.
They're going
too.
to.
Maybe.
Let's go.
Shaywo Lanalua.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our first break. When we
Okay.
come back, I did want to get. I want to talk about the rookies. We're gonna go through the list of rookies, and I want you guys to tell me for each one of them, based on what you thought of them right after draft weekend. Are they above? Are they at? Or are they below the expectations you had for them? We'll do that when we come right back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man's Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
Back to the break.
Hey, Dave, you can get the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate Cowboys fan, which I know you are.
I can.
You can if you join Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, starting at just
That's easy,
$20.
obviously.
Join now. Join William on this and get your fan pack, exclusive access to training camp benefits and more. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United for details and to join today.
Welcome back. Second segment of the break, live from Oxnard, California. We're in day 13 of training camp 2021. It is presented by American Airlines. Let's talk rookies. Let's talk about the draft. Cowboys drafted a ton of players this last year, and coming out of the draft, I think there was a general consensus that the Cowboys at least did a fairly decent job on draft day. At least they addressed a lot of the issues that they needed to address. We'll see where it all lands. But what I want to do is I want you guys in your minds to go back to the Sunday following the draft, and I want you to think about the expectations that you had for each of these players based upon where they were selected and what you thought of them going into the draft. And then I want you to tell me, based on the things you've seen in OTAs, the things you've seen out here at training camp, have they been above, have they met, or are they below the expectations that you had for them at this point in their careers? Very early, I know that, but let's just get a grade, right? So let's start first with the first-round pick, Micah Parsons.
This is going to sound bad, but like this is what I expected, honestly. And I think I can say that because I was kind of one of those guys that was onto this pick even before they drafted him. When I watched him, I didn't see anybody really blocking him. And I said it. Well, let's see. He's not going up against Northwestern and Purdue and Michigan State and all that. But he hasn't really been blockable here to some degree. And so I think that this is kind of what I expected to see. maybe not this early, but I did expect to see this stuff. I'm anxious to see what happens in the game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe my expectations are above, and like I've readily admitted it. Like I wasn't sure about the pick. I wanted Rashaan Slater. Looks like he's doing really well for the Chargers, by the way. And I said, I was like, this feels like boom or bust to me. Like it could be really good, it could be really bad. You know, there were questions about maturity. He took the year off of football. We don't need to go over the whole thing, but I had my doubts, and I don't feel that way right now. He looks really, really impressive. I mean, they're putting a lot on him. Yeah. He's got a dot, by the way. He's like they're letting him call stuff. Not all the time. Not all the time, but he does do it. That's
explain that a little bit more to finish.
If you got a green dot on your helmet, it means you have the radio, and the coaching staff makes the defensive calls to you. So
and then you make the call to the rest of the team.
You tell the huddle what's going on.
So you got to know the plays really well.
So Leighton and Jalen have one too. I mean, only one guy can have it during the season, but at training camp. So he's not doing everything, but he is making calls on defense. They're using him in pass rusher. They're using him in coverage, which is something I was worried about. I was like, how versatile is this guy going to be? Is he going to contribute to the pass rush? Well, he's doing that. Haven't heard a peep about him being a problem of any sorts since he got drafted, by the way. So, hey, it's very early. It's very early. But having said all of that, this is what you should expect from a top 12 pick. So he's probably not above the expectations of where he was drafted, but he's probably above the expectations that I had. So I've been very impressed.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me say one thing before we move on to the next pick. As great as Parsons has been so far, and we're all excited about him, the Rashaan Slater debate is going to go on for a while, because when you think about where we are at offensive tackle and guard and some of the question marks there and some of the injuries and all that, like having him on the team right now would have really been a good thing.
Sure.
And linebacker is kind of a jumbled thing. Who knows if Leighton, he might have had a fifth-year option. They might have given him that option if they didn't draft Parsons. So, it's certainly not a point where you're like, well, good call, they got Parsons. And I that's who I thought they should have taken, was Parsons, to help the defense. But we're not out of the woods on this debate by any means.
And that's the fun thing about the draft, is those debates go on for years. I mean, Zeke looked like a better pick than Ramsey for a few years, and now you can certainly make the case that Ramsey was the better decision. I think that's probably an easy case to make right now.
Maybe.
That's a different show.
And that's not even just about what's on the field. I'm talking about all the other stuff.
You get my point. These things evolve.
Yeah. Well,
and so...
Yeah, if is there any second, third, fourth round pick in that 2016 draft?
No.
Yeah. If there isn't?
No, none that are as important as Dak is?
No, I don't mean Dak.
Oh, sorry.
I mean Ramsey plus the running back that you draft later that helps with,
True.
Because we've seen McFadden have success. We've seen Alfred Morris have some success. So we think, that's always the debate there. I don't know if there's second, third, fourth round. I mean, Anthony Brown was the sixth-round corner that came in.
Henry was that draft, but I don't remember if he might have been off the board before the Cowboys picked. I don't remember. That it does. Yeah, no, I think
Ramsey and Henry.
People say, you could have had Ramsey and Henry. Off the rails a little bit, but those things. But I said this yesterday on Twitter is, I was worried that we were going to be watching Rashaan Slater ball out, and I would just be upset. Oh, my God, this sucks. And now it's really more like, well, maybe I wasn't wrong, but maybe both teams will be happy. And that's kind of where I feel. And that's how I feel right now.
You said something a few minutes ago, Derek. I think I don't want this to get kind of, forgotten. But, yes, he looks great. Micah Parsons looks great doing all these things. But rookies, their head has got to be spinning. Yeah. And to put him in 4 or 5 different spots is very, very important. I mean, the fact he can go here, here, here. He, I believe, will turn into the player, whether it be this year or next year, where the quarterback will go to the line of scrimmage and find out where 11 is. You have to.
Yep. Yeah.
Where is he? Because that tells you this whole thing. You don't really know he's right here. He's over here. He's over here. Changes the whole play. And that sounds great. But not everybody has the capability of learning all of those spots.
Name the last time the Cowboys had a guy like that they moved around that much. I can't think of one. I mean, you start going back to some of the old day guys, like they would do that, and they'd have that, what we called in high school the monster position, where you basically roam around the field and you're in different spots, right? Cowboys haven't really traditionally done that, because it takes a very special player to be able to do that. And to your point, he's doing that in his first training camp.
Yeah,
So how much more growth does he have to where he can possibly be great at all those different things?
And I know I've said this all the time, but I think people forget this. When you talk about corners that travel and linebackers that move, well, if they're moving around, that means someone else is moving too. And is that person capable of moving all this stuff?
Yeah.
Because you can have a corner that travels everywhere, but that means the right corner has also got to travel and got to be able to learn the left side.
Yep.
And so if Micah's rushing off the edge on this play, well, where's D-Law? Well, he's sliding in. And where did this guy go? Well, he moved. So everybody's got to be disciplined, and that's why I think Dan Quinn is here. I think that's what we're going to find out is how good he really is.
Henry was on the board, by the way. Just saying. Sorry.
It's all right.
Moving on, second-round pick, Kelvin Joseph.
Better than I thought. I was the one that said, I didn't love the pick. I didn't love the pick. Didn't love what I thought was a reach. Didn't understand maybe what he's done and his background and where he's been here and his dedication and all that. He's a little bit better than that. He's still here. He's competing and all that. He's cocky. I like that. We'll see. I think lights come on. He might be a gamer. I'm excited to see him, but
I think he's probably where I thought he'd be. I am impressed. He didn't really have a spring because of COVID, or he was behind a little bit. And I think it's a testament to his athleticism and his dedication. Like he's not lost out there. I mean, he's getting reps. He hasn't made a ton of splash plays, but and he had a day or two where he couldn't go because of a hamstring, and he's still. But they're not afraid to put him out there, and he's competing. He's had some PBUs. He's a talker for sure. But I'm not surprised by that because he did have the athleticism and the tape to be a top 50 pick. So he's where I thought he'd be.
All right. Osa Odigizua.
Oh, I'm way better than I thought I was there. I spell his name right. I say his name right.
That's a win.
I'm doing much better than I ever anticipated.
Have you guys been in your hotel rooms, like literally just writing his name over and over and over again until you get it right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
For my brain just wouldn't let me remember that he had a W in his last name for the longest time. But I think I finally, William had to give me a talking to.
I had to break that one down with Odig Hi Zua, and
Odig Hi Zua.
Odig Hi Zua.
Whatever helps.
Whatever helps.
It's like
Connect, I cut.
Superman hears everyone. Lake Superior, Michigan, Huron. Anyway, sorry. Ontario, Erie. No, you never heard that. Whatever. Wow.
No.
Never heard that?
Not like that. Not
Superman hears everyone. Superior, Michigan, Ontario. Ontario, Erie.
Okay.
Sorry. Wow. Anyway.
Y'all do things a little different.
I guess, whatever.
It's a little different. It's fine if it works.
What's the one for the planets? I mean, there's different ones.
Oh, please excuse my dear. No, that's math. That's math.
Like my very
something mother, educated mother, just something. I don't know. You never.
We just learned the names. Like
no, it's called the mnemonic.
I know, but we just learned the names. Like we didn't need that.
Yeah, my daughter did that the other day. My very educated mother serves us nachos.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, whatever works, man. Whatever works.
Wow,
we are so off the rails.
All right, let's get back on.
Odigizua.
Osa is above.
Above.
I think we who do the draft, we were a little surprised to hear his name called that early.
So you thought where do you think he should go? Like where were you guys projecting him to go?
He went in the round that he went in the range, I would say. I wouldn't have guessed that he would be the first guy off the board with that third round pick. And he wasn't a guy that we had heard a lot about, which it's harder during COVID and all that. Yeah. So I was a little down on it just because, and I'd have to go back and look, but there were other names available that I was higher on. But he looks impressive. He looks the part for sure.
He's big and he's active.
And he gets behind the line of scrimmage, absolutely. So I would above, yes, so far.
I want to see. He's one of those guys. I'm excited to see what he is after a year in the training in the strength and conditioning program because he's already a big dude.
Yep.
And you add some muscle and some strength to that, he's going to be a handful. Long term, I think.
Really, like a cool guy too. I got a chance to spend some time with him during media days, and he was very friendly and personable. And then he had his first media availability of camp last week, and just. He's a dude that I think it would be fun to hang out and get a beer with for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, hopefully these two guys are really, really good for years to come. But I can't imagine. I could see a radio show with Neville Gallimore and Oduizu.
Yeah, they have personality.
Those
out
guys,
the wazoo.
you know.
We saw Galloway last year. Like he has
Gallimore.
I'm sorry. We saw that last year. He has that personality. Definitely has that personality.
Yeah, Tristan Hill is not that type
not
of guy.
so much, but those other two, I think they definitely have a personality to be able to do it. We're going to jump over Chauncey Golston.
Yeah, he just hasn't.
He just hasn't been able to play. We haven't seen enough of him. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our break. When we come back, we'll jump in, talk a little bit more about Rashaan Wright and Jabril Cox and some other names there in the later parts, in later rounds. We'll do that when we come right back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man's Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to the break.
Hey, everybody. The fan of the year is a big deal here. Does your Cowboy fandom go beyond the game?
William?
NFL Fan of the Year contest is back. We're relaunching the search for one extraordinary Cowboys fan who is a positive influence and inspires others through their love of the game. Nominate yourself or others for a chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles. Nominate today at DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year. I can't even talk anymore. That's a long one. It's a long thing here.
You got it. You did
Got
well.
it?
Yeah, you did a good job.
I can't breathe, though.
It was good. It was good.
And
I can
it's
tell
for
you
what?
got to read.
And it's for what?
Good.
You can't beat William on Fan of the Year.
No, you can't. Like, they just don't even know how big a fan William is. It's true. All right, let's jump back in. We got the final segment here of the break. We're talking about the rookies. We've gone through most of the third-round picks except for Rashaan Wright. Talk to me about Rashaan Wright.
I mean, it's got to be above just because we tried to bury the guy on draft night because nobody had ever heard of him. I mean, that's just the honest truth. Like, he wasn't a guy that anybody but the Cowboys was talking about as a third-round pick, and 6'4", just limbs for days. I mean, looks like he's going to have a hard time moving in space. And he's definitely not perfect. He's lost his fair share of stuff out here, but he's out there competing, getting his hand on the football, did it during OTAs. You know, I'm saying, like, very candidly, I'm just like, this guy's going to, like, have a hard time getting a jersey on game days as a rookie, and sitting here like, no, he's going to make the team and probably be a viable member of it. You know, I don't think he's going to take anybody's starting job, but people killed that pick when it happened, and it looks like early, but like it at least doesn't look stupid right now, which is more than a lot of people said on draft night.
I'm anxious to see what kind of role he'll have on a game day. I think for sure he makes the team. I'm just curious to see where, you know, and then that'll come down to what he does on special teams, you know. I mean, he's a long strider. He's got to be. So he's going to get down there probably quicker than most. Can he be physical enough to do anything when he gets there? Now, I did see him throw this receiver to the ground the other day, and I was like, what? And then it was Reggie Davis, who weighs about 140, 150.
Yeah.
Reggie Davis, by the way, had a really nice catch yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. It was on my Twitter.
I did.
I got it. But
nice job.
Yeah, pretty good video. I'm pretty good at video. I'm trying to out Hellman here, but I can't.
Give me that access.
Y'all both trying to take Chris's job.
That's
huh?
true.
Is that what we're doing?
That's a good point.
No, because Chris has the better equipment.
Okay. Is that what it is?
Hey.
It's just because he has the better equipment?
Not
that he's got the better eye, but he's got better equipment. Okay.
Yeah.
He's having a really good catch. I always get the headset on. And he's like,
We can switch if you want.
Yeah, let's go. Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
I gave it to Shannon the other day, and he's like, "No, take this back. I'll take the camera."
Yeah.
It's a little different when you got to pick up the big boy camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead.
That thing.
No, it's amazing though, seriously, because we don't have. I mean, we have good access, but we just don't have as many people as we normally have out here. And every time there's a great catch, a CD or whoever, it's like, well, do we have that? Like, Chris, did you get it? And they're like, yeah, he's right there. He's right there, or he's over here, and he still got it and all that. We've had some really good stuff.
Yeah.
It's been good.
No doubt. No doubt. Honestly, for me, Rashaan Wright, it's just gravy this year. Whatever you get from him is gravy. I'm thinking about him long term. Is he a guy that you can count on at whatever point they decide to move on from Anthony Brown and Lewis? Like those are the more. That's the more important question in my opinion. Is he going to develop into that? And if he can, then great. The pick was a great pick. I don't care what they really get out of him this year. Play some special teams. That's it. I don't really care. I just want to know, can you play for him long term? And can you ease that pain when you have to move on from those vets? Because you're going to move on from them in the next year or two. All right, let's move on to Jabril Cox.
Can we just go quickly here? Both of them down.
Yeah,
down.
Cox and Ball.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to get a little color on Jabril Cox because I think a lot of people had high hopes for him when the pick was made.
Yeah.
And he was a fourth-round pick, so expectations can't be great when it's a fourth-round pick. But
yeah, they can.
Can they?
Yes. Well,
should they be?
Well, yes.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But Jabril Cox is interesting. I mean, a lot of people saw him as a second-round pick. A lot of, like, I'd love to have him at 75, but I doubt he lasts that long.
Hey,
I mean, that was a very real thing.
Had they taken Rashaan Slater, they take Cox in the second round. I firmly believe that.
Really?
I
wouldn't be
definitely
surprised.
believe that.
And then we'd really be saying he is not.
Well, they needed a corner.
Yeah,
They still
maybe
needed a corner.
if they had gotten Surtain, maybe I think that's possible. I don't know. If they hadn't addressed corner in the
That's
first
true.
round,
That's
I think
true.
they still take Joseph.
But he was a second-round grade for them.
Yeah.
So
that is true. He was.
And
they were just as shocked as everybody else that he hung around
and
as
that's
long
how.
as he did.
And the reason why you get a second-round grade on someone and have 3 third-round picks and not take them is because you already took Micah Parsons in the first round. But when you're in the fourth round, now it's kind of like all
Give me the
bets
best
are off.
guy.
Just get the best guy, and that was an easy pick for them.
But I do want, and so the answer is below. But what we got to figure out is that because he's not ready, or just because it's tough to get opportunities at that position? And I think that's the problem he's dealing with right now. Is top 12 pick, $70 million veteran, 5th-year veteran, leader of your defense, or one of them at least, Leighton, and then Keanu Neal, who's the coach's guy and a high-priority free agent. I mean, there's just not a lot of room for reps there.
Right, but I'm going to kind of play devil's advocate there because I've
Gifford.
seen Gifford.
Yeah.
Gifford's made some
Gifford's
plays.
made more
We've
plays.
seen Gifford kind of active.
For sure.
And he's got a head start on him.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in 3 years, Gifford was making some plays early there, but he didn't have those guys all in front of him either. Let's see what happens when the lights come on. I think he's going to get a chance to play a lot in preseason.
I think that's the thing. He's going to get live action reps, and we'll have to play a lot of special teams if I had to guess. And so, speaking of Gifford, nobody was talking about him until he played in a preseason game a couple years ago. Had an interception, lit the fan base on fire. So I'm not ready to bury him, but it's been below what you thought given.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he was a much higher draft grade.
Yeah, I would have thought you'd see some flashes because, as you said, he's been buried a little bit down the depth chart, but that also means he's playing out there against lesser quality talent, and that's where you thought maybe he would flash a little bit more, and I really haven't seen a lot of flash plays for him.
Right.
Let's talk about Simi Fehoko, wide receiver.
At this being the draft nerd that I am, it's
skip Josh Ball.
I thought y'all said let's just say for the next two, and I thought you were talking about Ball in that.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. I didn't know.
It's been below for Ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got hurt too. He's got ankle injury with.
Yeah, I thought you were saying below for both of them.
Yeah.
So.
It's kind of similar. Like people. The thing on Ball was like he'd be a much higher draft pick without the domestic violence. It hasn't looked like that. It didn't look like it in the spring. It hasn't looked like it out here.
It hasn't looked great.
He's hurt right now, so it's below. Semi, the thing is, like, fifth round pick.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, same thing. You're like, anything you get from him is gravy. But go ahead.
No, I'm laughing. Keep going.
He's 6'4" and runs a 4.4. He's big on TikTok. He's got a TikTok. He's Will McClay's pet cat. Like, that's the guy. He was like, yeah, if you want me to, I love all my guys, but like Simi was a guy I was excited about. And so everybody builds these expectations. Like, we got the next day 3 steal.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been that good that everybody.
But he's made some plays.
No, he has looked good out here,
Yeah.
but I think he's probably right where he should be.
Got it.
As opposed,
Change the question.
At one point in the spring, people were like, "This guy should have been a top 50 pick." Like, no, calm down.
Yeah.
Change the question. Not when he was drafted. How about heading into camp after we've seen the offseason?
Heading into way beyond expectations.
Because heading into camp, we were like, this camp right here, we were like, this guy, he hasn't done anything in the summer.
Yeah.
He's done more out here. And I remember writing a note or something about that because I was looking at his career. He had a decent career at Stanford, and he was doing okay. Then he plays at UCLA's last game.
Yeah.
16 catches, 230, I think 2 or 3 touchdowns. It's about an hour from here. And I'm like, well, maybe he's a Southern California guy. You know. Then he comes out in the first couple of days of practice, and he's looking pretty good. He's kind of tapered off a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what happens because he's a draft pick. But I don't think he's been better than Malik Turner. I don't even think he's been better than Osiris Mitchell, number 14.
A lot of those guys have had good camps. But that's the fun thing about the games is these guys are so easy to notice because the ball goes through the air, and you get to run 30 reps per practice. Even the second and third string guys get a ton of reps, especially with Amari and Gallup out. Well, on Thursday, you're going to get targeted 3 times.
Yeah.
And maybe one of them is more than 5 or 6 yards down the field. So you better make the most of it.
Yep, that's exactly right. All right, let's talk about future Hall of Famer Quentin Bohannon.
I might owe you an apology. He's not going to start.
He's not in Hall of Fame yet.
He's not going to start either.
Okay.
That's
you don't
important.
think?
No, at least
Okay.
not snap
Probably
one.
not.
Not
He's
snap
not.
one.
You're
of
right.
them.
Probably not.
But he looks really good.
Yeah. I like him.
He does not get moved easily. Can y'all still hear me? I feel like I cut out.
Yeah.
I
you're
can hear
good.
you coming on the microphone.
So he doesn't get moved easily. He's a hoss, and
he moves people.
and he penetrates. Well, that's not his MO. He's a trash can full of dirt, right? Well, he gets into the backfield better than I would expect a trash can full of dirt to.
I like the way he goes kind of laterally, too. It was a good 30 pounds that he lost, because at 350, he was just a different guy there, but now he's like at 325, 330, and he's still, like to Dave's point, doesn't get moved, but he's probably more agile. And I think he's going to be. I think it's going to be interesting with him as well, because it's not like Nashawn Wright or somebody where you draft him and maybe the next guy on your list here, a guy that could probably make the team but maybe inactive. I mean, if Bohannon's on the team, you need to use him because nobody else can do what he does. So it'll be interesting to see if he is a guy that he's going to make the team, I believe.
I think so too.
Does he make the 46 game day roster?
Yeah.
Because what good is he going to be inactive if he's just sitting over there with a 4X on?
I think so much of that depends on what's happening with Tristan Hill.
Yeah.
If Tristan Hill is a 6-week pup guy, then I think there's a good chance Bohannon's going to be an active guy on game day.
Let's say he is. Who are your defensive tackles in the game?
Like week 1?
I think we already talked about Gallimore.
Neville Gallimore, Brent Urban, Carlos Watkins, Quentin Bohannon.
Yeah.
Wait.
Who am I forgetting? Oh, Osa.
Osa.
Yeah.
So
I think, but I think Urban's kind of a guy you have to think about as kind of an in/tackle. Like they're moving him around. He's playing both.
He is.
So on game day, I don't know if you necessarily look like. I think they're going to have 4 9 active. You're probably going to have 4. He's a Tyrone Crawford. You're going to have 4 that are defensive tackles. You're probably going to have 4 defensive ends. You're going to have Urban that can pop to either one.
Watkins is the same way, by the way.
Yeah.
He's done 5 technique,
So who's
1
your
technique.
defensive ends? D-Law, Gregory,
Dorrance Armstrong.
And
probably Basham.
Yeah. Chauncey seems like a game day inactive.
Yeah, Chauncey's the guy that he's going to have to work his way in.
Which, not to get ahead of ourselves, but do you remember last year on cut down day, or cut down weekend, I should say, how tricky they got with it? They cut a couple guys knowing they would, CJ got cut for like 18 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
They're going to do that. They're going to have to do stuff like that again this year. I think they're going to get weird to make sure they accommodate all these guys.
You cut a guy. Oh, because what happens is you'll have an injured player that you have to get on.
Have to be on the final roster.
You have to be on the roster, so you cut a veteran player who you can talk into and say, listen, don't
sign.
You can't get claimed because you're a veteran. Don't sign with anyone else. Sign with us.
Pure hunch on my part, but I wonder if we see something like that with Tristan if he's not ready. And keep him on the roster and stash him until later and cut a guy and all that fun stuff. So it'll be fun.
Could Golston be that? What's his injury again?
Hamstring.
It shouldn't be that bad.
You wouldn't think. I would have thought we would have seen him at this point.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Obviously not. All right, real quick, Israel Mukwamu.
Above.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
These late round guys have been impressive, and we don't have the tape, so who knows what all I'm sure he's messed up plenty of things playing back there, but he's long. I think we talked about him at the end of the other show. Like he gets to the football. He's had a couple picks. He's broken up some passes. He seems like he flashes, and I kind of. I don't want to say I wrote him off, but I was like, okay, he was a cornerback, but he's already moving to safety before he even gets here. Like I don't know how promising that is, but
he's made an impression on his teammates. I don't know if that's good.
That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that, for those that don't know, you got to go back and watch the video if you haven't, but he was one of the guys that was pointed out by a few players as the guy that on the team that they would not allow to date their sister on National Sisters Day.
Dak and Randy had the best answers to that question.
Yeah.
Dak was like,
nobody.
Half the team?
Right.
And Randy was like, none of these guys.
Yeah, none of them.
Was like smart, very smart.
Right. Not at all.
I don't know what Israel or CJ or Diggs is done.
Oh, Diggs, yeah, they were like, I think a few people were kind of like
that stemmed. I think
the
the Vikings also had that, and his brother won that award.
Yeah, like those Diggs boys. I don't know.
Careful. No, he's Israel's been above. I don't have high expectations for anybody that gets drafted after the fourth round, and so
if you're doing anything,
I think it's good.
So Matt Farniok.
No, I don't think as good. If so, I don't believe they would be putting in Connor Williams to try that out at center.
It looks messy when he plays center. He's got some snapping issues.
Yeah.
What about guard?
I haven't noticed. Which again, 7th round pick. My expectations are the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't say he's been below my expectations. My expectations just weren't very high.
When you get a guy in the draft that's like, well, he's played center, he's played guard, he's played tackle.
There's a reason.
Oh, that's awesome. And he's drafted in the 7th round. Because if he was this Swiss Army knife that was cutting everything every single time at every position, you're like, okay, this is outstanding. But it smells like a master of all, or jack of all trades, master of none type of thing. And that's hard to do. You can't just throw guys around all the time. Not everybody picks it up. And so it helped at Nebraska because, hey, this guy can give, and he gets in there and he can help. But when it's time to evaluate him, he's never really great at one thing, and it probably hurts him. So versatility, we say this all the time, position flex versatility, while it might help you get on the team or whatever, it doesn't always help your development. That's why Micah Parsons, to go full circle on this, that's why Micah Parsons is so impressive to move around in 4 spots and for this point, excel at it.
All right, real quick, before we end the show, I want you guys to quickly, each one of you, give me one player or position that you're going to be watching here in the Hall of Fame game and what you're looking to find out about that player or position. Let's start with you, Dave.
This is cheating because it's so easy, but I'm excited for the Nooch. I'm really excited.
Nooch.
I'm so serious, too. Like, I'm not being sarcastic. I think the poor guy, the guy didn't have a preseason. He didn't get to do any of this last year. Hey, congratulations. You're the starting quarterback because everybody else is dead. Go fight off Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, please, on national TV. So now, this is the environment he belongs in. He's a third-string guy. He's going to get to go against third-string guys. By the way, he's from Pittsburgh, so I'm sure a whole bunch of people he knows are going to make the drive over there. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Against his childhood team, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. This is something that he should have gotten to do last year, and I hope I think he'll probably look better going against a lower level of talent, so that'll be fun.
Nick.
God, man, I go all over the place here. What I'm trying to find out is what can we take from this game? So what position are we going to be able to see something and make a real impression? I'll say the defensive tackle, defensive line there. I want to see, because those guys, I mean, they're going to get in there. I want to see Odighizuwa. I want to see, hopefully Gallimore will play some. Really that whole front seven, you could say Micah and all that, but just kind of how they rotate. I guess to give you a real answer, I want to see how they kind of line up. I want to see the lineup.
Yes, please.
And how Quinn, what does he do? Again, you got to be vanilla.
Yeah.
They're not going to be all
exotic,
exotic. But I just kind of want to see what it looks like.
Even vanilla would be nice, though, because it's so hard to get a read on what they're trying to do here. And if we tried to break it down too much, they'd freak out on us.
Yeah.
So they're going to be on national TV Thursday. You can't completely hide it. So at the very least, it'll be nice to be like, all right, on 2nd and 8, Urban was out at 5 technique, and this guy was doing that, and you just kind of have an idea of the shape. Because I know that sounds dumb, but I don't feel like I have that right now.
And usually in camps, you see predominantly first teams out there. You see this guy's going to always line up here. This guy's going to always
right.
That is
it's
not.
It
is
the
so
case.
different from that in this camp, more than any other camp I've ever been a part of or watched up close and personal.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. It's not just rookies that are going to get out here and play their first time. I bet you've got 10 to 12 guys that have never played a preseason game before. Guys that have played a lot. Terrence Steele's played. Danucci has played. These guys have played. Reggie Robinson has played some games. They haven't played. Connor McGovern has not played a preseason game.
That is amazing.
So there are a lot of guys that haven't gotten an opportunity to play. That's terrible. Haven't got a lot of guys that's been able to play in situations where they should be able to at least compete.
Yep.
So that's exciting.
All right, we appreciate you guys joining us. Like I said, we've got a lot going on over the next few days. Make sure you check the website. We'll have schedules up to let you know when things will be happening. Make sure on Saturday you check out the live broadcast of our practice with the Rams. It will air locally in Dallas on CBS 11, but you can watch it wherever you are around the world on all of our platforms. We'll be streaming it. That'll happen at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. So make sure you check that out. Till then, for Nick Eatman, Dave Hellman, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.